Welcome back everybody. Now that my interior decorating is ready for Halloween, it's time to start working on the outside. Now, part of my exterior design is doing a cemetery, as most of us do, and I thought today's product is going to fit perfectly with my outside decor, and this is a graveyard inflatable cooler. And what I plan to do with it, as I'm going to have my focus on the cemetery, I'm not actually going to be using it as a cooler, I don't think, but rather a candy bowl. Now usually I'll fill up about 3 of these big tubs with candy, not just because it's full of candy, but I like to make little Halloween bags, so I thought I needed to get started doing that. And these things really fill up the space very fast. Rather than displaying them in this boring old bucket, I figured something like this graveyard inflatable is going to be the perfect product to do that. So let's take a quick look on their Amazon page and see what it's all about. All right, I will put the link to this Amazon page in the description of this video, so check that out if you're interested. But this is kind of what it looks like. It looks like we've got some sort of cemetery fence base with a tombstone coming up, and it says, "Here lies old Rick, should have chose treat instead of trick." And it holds 120 cans. All right, looking at some of the other pictures here, we get kind of a better sense of what it's going to look like, which we'll take a look at here in a moment. But one of the things that I think is important here is that this is a small business product. So it's nice that it's not just one of those giant overseas companies churning out this merchandise. This is going to help us support our local small businesses. It is $24.98, but it does hold a lot of beverages. So if you're having a big party, it seems like it would be the perfect opportunity to do that easily. And when you compare it to some of the pricing of these other inflatables, like 27, 24, I mean, it's pretty right in line with what we would expect for a similar inflatable. But this one seems like, again, it's going to go perfect in my graveyard theme. All right, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and open up the box and see what we get. So I do like the box again. It's got that sort of graveyard fence motif on the front of it. It does say the dimensions on here are 40 by 16 by 24. It's got another little logo up here in the corner. It says Bell Book and Candle trademark. So I guess if we're going to be looking for more of their products in the future, that's probably the name we're going to be wanting to search for. Let's go ahead and open this up. All right, inside we have a nice compact inflatable here. There does appear to be a vinyl plastic repair kit, so if it does start leaking air, we can just easily fix that as well. All right, so unwrapping it, looks like we've got a lot of color here. So we've got brown, that's clearly going to be like the ground. We've got the fencing, and I think as we open it up here, we're going to see the tombstone. And there it is inside. So, wow. This is, wow, okay, so it's got several, at least 4 here, different air tubes that we're going to need to inflate. Here's a 5th one on the tombstone itself. Okay, let's go ahead and get started and see how long this takes to inflate. All right, you're definitely going to want to get an inflator. I just had this little battery operated thing, so it still took several minutes just because it's such a tiny little inflator. I almost think a hand pump would have actually inflated this a little bit faster. But here we go. This is really big. I love it. So if we take a look inside, you can see it is substantially deep. You have your tombstone sitting in the middle, so it just kind of leans on the side, which is fine because we're going to fill this with ice. It'll probably, keep it well in place, so it's not going to be like rocking all around. But you've got a lot of room in here to put your drinks, or in my case, your candy. The advertising says it will hold 120 cans, so let's just see how deep it looks like if I wanted to put cans. Let's see, hard to get that in the shot there. All right, so we definitely can fit them too high. So I hesitate to guess how much ice this will hold, but if you put 120 cans in here, 10 cases of soda, you probably won't need all that much ice, a couple of bags to go in between it. But if you wanted to fill like the whole bottom of this, I mean, you're gonna need a couple of bags of ice to fill this sucker. But man, you could really have drinks for your entire party here. I, unfortunately, am not that popular and would never need 120 cans for my party. So we're gonna stick with the candy bags. So, we got our candy bag, throw a handful of candy in there. I want the kids in the neighborhood to like me, so I give them extra, that way they don't TP my house or anything. Throw this inside, and now you can see, it's really hard to show, it's gonna fill up my inflatable much more quickly. So I usually try to make about 100 bags of candy, and I think that's gonna fit this nicely. And I'm really excited about the idea of theming my candy bowl to my decorations outside, because that's where I'm gonna sit and give out the candy, is there in the cemetery. So this is perfect. You know, like I said, you have this cemetery fencing on the front, the cemetery stone on the top that's poking out. And then if you look inside again, so I guess the brown is supposed to be reminiscent of, like I said, the ground. I mean, it does look like it's got little rocks and things that are poking through it, so I don't think it's supposed to be a coffin per se, although with the wood look, you'd almost expect that. Now I am going to expect that, you know, overnight, once you inflate these things, I've had a little bit of experience with them in the past, it's going to stretch out a little bit, and you're going to need to re-air it up again in the morning just to get it nice and firm. I'm probably going to leave this inflated until Halloween. Like I said, I have to start making these bags, so this is a good place as any to store it. You know, I just had kind of another thought. If you wanted to go like a step further, since you have all this space here, you could get one of those small skeletons. You might even get a full 5-foot skeleton, because this thing, I think it was 40 inches. So what is that, like 3.5 feet? So a 5-foot skeleton, you could have his head coming out of one side, his legs coming out the other. I think that would make an awesome look. In fact, let me go get one and let's see. Oh my gosh, I love this look. I am totally gonna make the kids reach in here to get their Halloween trick-or-treat bag. If I have kids screaming and crying at the end of Halloween because they're too scared, oh, that's like a dream come true. So I think this is fantastic. But I'd love to know what you think. So leave me a comment below, let me know what you think. If you're interested in this product, like I said, it does support a small business, so take that into consideration for your Halloween purchasing this year. Oh my gosh, love it. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. It is much appreciated, and if anyone else out there wants to join our Fright Club, you can check out the link to my Patreon page in the description below. That's also where you're going to find the link to this product. Be sure to check it out if you are interested. That's going to do it for today. Stay tuned for more DIYs, product reviews, store walkthroughs, and more. Till then, take care and happy haunting.